This week didn't go exactly as planned. A good move, then a really bad stop loss, and a reminder of how important it is to step back when things aren't clear. This is how it played out. First things first, the morning coffee. As I expected, silver started to retrace. At that point, though, I was still pretty optimistic. The overall structure was intact. The move up had been strong, and in my mind, this retracement looked like a healthy pullback rather than something more concerning. I was convinced that the retracement would have ended soon and that we would resume pushing higher. During London Open, forex didn't really move much. That wasn't a surprise for me. It's the last week of the year, liquidity is thin, and usually volatility is quite limited. Even though I'm still leaning toward a bearish US dollar overall, I don't feel the need to force anything. I told myself that unless we see some kind of displacement from this fair value gap or unless this swing high gets swept, I'm probably not going to take any forex trades this week. After lunch, I take my second coffee of the day. Unfortunately, silver kept going down and eventually I got stopped out, literally by this much. I decided to trail my stop loss here because I thought that if price reached that area, it would most likely continue lower anyway. In the end, even though I secured another 2k from this trade, here it says 4.3k because I already took a partial last week. I still gave back around 3k of unrealized profits from the highs made at the opening. And honestly, this one bothered me. Usually, I don't regret my decisions because I know that every decision is made with the information I have at the moment. But this time, I had actually thought about closing the trade entirely, especially considering how parabolic the move had been. I simply didn't expect a retracement of this size, and losing 3k like this does hurt, even if the trade is still green. But at the same time, I always remind myself of this. The past is gone, I can't change it. There's no point in obsessing over what could have been. I need to be grateful for what I have, for the fact that I still managed the trade correctly overall, and for the opportunity that trading gives me every single day. So I take this 2k, accept the outcome, and move on, looking for new opportunities. By the end of New York Open, as expected, forex still didn't move, so I closed the charts and started thinking about dinner. As usual, I had around 250 grams of chicken. Right after that, I went to the gym. That day, I trained chest and triceps. And when I got back home, I went straight to bed. I was genuinely exhausted. Morning coffee again, and we're ready to go. I sit down, open the charts, and as expected, forex didn't really move since yesterday. Silver, on the other hand, did something interesting. It reversed. Apparently, my stop loss was basically the bottom, and price started moving higher almost immediately after. From one side, I feel frustrated, because it's never easy to see price do exactly what you expected right after you get stopped. But from another side, I knew that this could actually turn into a new opportunity if I stayed calm and objective. So again, I have lunch, same as yesterday, another coffee, and then I start looking more closely for a potential entry. After a while, I noticed this 1 hour candle, and when I drop down to the 15-minute chart, I start thinking that price really shouldn't come back into this area if it wants to continue higher. At that point, I decided to go long on my intraday account. I'll be honest, this is not the typical trade that I look for. It wasn't a textbook setup for me, but price action was hot, momentum was there, and I felt confident enough to take the risk. Unfortunately, I was wrong. Price did retrace back into the 1 hour fair value gap. At that point, I started looking for a re-entry. Initially, it even looked like it was setting up nicely, but then this 15-minute candle closed like this, and I really didn't like it. Something fell off. At the same time, I noticed that gold was clearly weaker than silver. Looking at it, I thought there could be a short opportunity there, from the 15-minute fair value gap on the 5-minute chart. I was honestly very close to opening that trade, but then I stopped. I took a deep breath and reminded myself of something very important. Price action wasn't clean. This wasn't the way I normally trade. I was starting to chase movement instead of waiting for clarity, and that's usually a sign that it's time to step away. So I closed the charts, not just for the day, but for the rest of the week. This is extremely important. You always need to be aware of your own condition and of the overall market context. When things are unaligned, forcing trades is the worst thing you can do. As you can see, the trade on gold would have been stopped, while the trade on silver would have actually worked. So on one side, I avoided a clear mistake, and on the other, I missed out on profiting from my initial idea on silver. After closing the charts, I ate my chicken and went to the gym again. That day, I trained back and biceps. On the following days, silver ended up retracing lower again, and that honestly made me feel a bit more relieved about how my swing trade played out. Also, The intraday trade that I missed the previous day would have made a maximum of 3.5 hours. So realistically, I didn't miss out on anything special. Overall, this week has been surprisingly eventful, especially considering it's the last one of the year. I actually needed this kind of week to come back down to earth and stabilize myself after a very intense period of trading. I decided to take the rest of the week off, and I will carefully evaluate whether I want to trade next week or not. In the last couple of days, I've spent some time reviewing and analyzing the trades I took over the past few months, focusing my energy on the conditions that really fit my style. That way, when those conditions present themselves again, I'll be ready. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.